Italy, a nation with a history as complex as its winding streets, has found itself at a political crossroads once again. And leading this charge is a name that has taken Europe by storm: Giorgia Meloni. For years, Italian politics has been a whirlwind of shifting alliances, scandal, and reform. Yet, Meloni's rise marks something different, something unprecedented. Meloni's party, Fratelli d'Italia, once a minor player, has become a dominant force in Italy's political arena. But how did she achieve this meteoric rise? Born in Rome, Meloni grew up in a working-class neighborhood, far removed from the grandeur of Italian politics. Her early years were shaped by a drive to defy the odds. Her political journey began in her teens, joining a far-right youth movement. From day one, she was outspoken, charismatic, and determined. Over time, she distanced herself from the extremist elements of her past, rebranding Fratelli d'Italia as a nationalist but mainstream party. Her rhetoric focused on national pride, traditional values, and an anti-globalist stance, messages that resonated with a large segment of the population. Italians, weary of political instability and economic stagnation, found in Meloni a leader who promised change, strength, and clarity. One of her key promises was to restore Italy's sovereignty in a European Union often seen as overbearing by its critics. But this nationalist stance didn't come without controversy. Critics accused her of stirring xenophobia and dividing the nation. Despite this, Meloni's popularity grew. She skillfully tapped into fears over immigration and economic decline, offering a bold vision for Italy's future. Meloni's critics say she represents a step backward for Italy, but her supporters see her as a beacon of hope in troubled times. Her government's blueprint revolves around three pillars: national sovereignty, economic revival, and social conservatism. The first pillar, national sovereignty, aims to reduce Italy's reliance on EU directives. Meloni has argued for Italy to have more control over its own borders and policies. On immigration, her stance is clear: stricter controls, enhanced border security, and a crackdown on illegal immigration. This hardline approach has drawn praise from nationalist groups across Europe, but criticism from human rights organizations. In terms of economic policy, Meloni promises to boost domestic production, cut taxes, and reduce bureaucracy. She claims that by empowering Italian businesses, the economy will see a revival, creating jobs and prosperity. But skeptics question how she plans to achieve this without increasing Italy's already massive public debt. Another key point in her economic plan is to renegotiate certain aspects of Italy's relationship with the EU, particularly on fiscal matters. Her government wants to revise strict EU budget rules that many Italians believe have stifled economic growth. Yet critics argue that challenging the EU too aggressively could isolate Italy and harm its economy in the long run. Meloni's third pillar, social conservatism, focuses on preserving traditional family values and cultural heritage. She has advocated for policies that promote higher birth rates, such as financial incentives for families and support for working mothers. However, her views on LGBTQ+ rights have sparked heated debate. Meloni has opposed same-sex marriage and adoption by gay couples. Supporters say she is defending traditional values, while opponents accuse her of promoting intolerance. Meloni's stance on education is also a key part of her political blueprint. She wants to reform the education system to emphasize Italian history, culture, and identity. This includes promoting national pride through the curriculum and reducing what she sees as ideological bias in schools. Her government has also promised to invest in infrastructure, particularly in southern Italy, which has long been economically neglected. Meloni's vision is to create a more balanced Italy, where opportunities are not limited by geography. To achieve these ambitious goals, Meloni has sought alliances with other nationalist leaders in Europe, such as Viktor Orban of Hungary. This pan-European nationalist alliance aims to challenge the current direction of the EU and push for a Europe of sovereign nations. But this strategy is not without risks. Many fear that aligning too closely with controversial leaders could harm Italy's standing on the global stage. Despite the controversies, Meloni's approval ratings have remained high. Her message of strength and national pride continues to resonate. However, governing is far more challenging than campaigning. Meloni now faces the immense task of turning her promises into reality. Her government must navigate a fragile economy, EU relations, and deep societal divisions. Failure to deliver on her promises could lead to disillusionment among her supporters and a return to political instability. But if she succeeds, she could reshape Italy's future and leave a lasting legacy. Meloni's rise to power is a story of determination, controversy, and ambition. It's a story that has captivated not just Italy but the world. Her political blueprint is bold, some say risky, but it reflects the desires of many Italians who feel left behind by traditional parties. At the heart of her blueprint is a simple yet powerful message. Italy should stand tall, proud, and independent. For a nation that has seen its fair share of glory and hardship, this message strikes a chord. But whether Meloni's vision can withstand the test of time remains to be seen. The stakes are high, and the world is watching. What happens next in Italy could set a precedent for the rest of Europe, where nationalist movements are gaining momentum. Meloni's story is still unfolding, and the outcome will depend on her ability to navigate the complexities of modern governance. Italy's political blueprint is being redrawn, and Giorgia Meloni holds the pen. The question is, what kind of future will she write?